Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. I'm Deborah Dobkins, Dean of the Women's College at Brenau University, and it is my great pleasure today to host a very, very special Gold Series speaker, Norma Hernandez. Norma is an amazing woman and a force of nature. You are in for a lively hour, and we're delighted that you joined us today. The Gold Series is a feature of the Gold program, which is the signature curricular and co-curricular program at the heart of the Women's College. And I must just tell you, GOLD is an acronym. G stands for gender awareness. O is for ownership of personal and civic engagement. L is for leadership. What else? D is for diversity and inclusion and global perspective. So I know that's working a lot in there, but I just wanted to let you know the principles of the GOLD program. This is our second year of the GOLD program, our O year, and our theme for this O year is own your voice, create your community. Own your voice, create your community. And there's no one I can think of in our community who exemplifies this theme more than Norma Hernandez. And the GOLD program aims to help women thrive personally, professionally, and as citizens of the world, something else that Norma exemplifies. So I'm going to introduce her, and then she's going to tell us her story, and we'll have a chance to ask some questions of her. I'm going to keep my introduction fairly brief so that we have more time to hear from Norma. So for decades, Norma Hernandez has worked as an advocate for the Latino community, serving as a bridge between cultures, teaching understanding and teamwork. A native of Honduras, Ms. Norma Hernandez came to Gainesville, Georgia, and aren't we lucky she did in 1987. She became a United States citizen in 1989. Norma holds a bachelor's degree in accounting. She is the president of the Northeast Georgia Latino Chamber of Commerce, a position that she's held since June of 2017. And in that role, she manages the strategic, fiscal, and programmatic goals for the chamber, no small order. She is also the chair of the Hall County COVID Task Force. So we'll have a chance to ask her a few questions about that in a little bit. Before becoming the chamber president, Norma formed and served as president of the Northeast Georgia Hispanic Alliance, the first Latino advocacy organization in Gainesville. During her time with that organization, she hosted multiple citizenship drives, assisting more than, get this, 350 people becoming citizens of the United States and encouraging those citizens to vote. Norma previously served for more than 7 years as the first Latino community service officer for the City of Gainesville Police Department before becoming court clerk for the Gainesville Municipal Court. She went on to become the assistant director for the Victim Assistance Program of the DA's office, serving both Hall and Dawson counties. In 1993, Norma received the prestigious Liberty Bell Award in recognition of her outstanding community service and promotion of better understanding and respect for the law. Norma has also been honored as a Master of Innovation by Brenau University and our partners. Norma has served on many boards and with civic organizations in Gainesville, including United Way, March of Dimes, Salvation Army, Gateway House, and she started the first all-Latino Boy Scouts troop, which I think is just fabulous. Norma also owns, and she's an entrepreneur. She owns a company called Norma Hernandez Business Services, through which she serves the Latino business community. And she is also has started her second business, Capital Title Pawn. Norma is also a proud mother of 2 fine young sons. So this is just a small taste of Norma's accomplishments and her honors. And for those of you listening today who might be thinking, gosh, I'm just one person, what could I possibly do to make a difference in my community? Norma Hernandez has something to say about that. So without further ado, let's all welcome Ms. Norma Hernandez. You'll need to unmute yourself, Norma. There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Thank you so much. I am so honored to be part of this program with you ladies and everybody else today. This is certainly a great honor for me. You pretty much said everything about me, so I will kind of gonna be repeating a little bit of that, and then you will have a chance to have questions for me. But today we're going to talk about service. We're going to talk about leadership. We're going to talk about inclusion and advancement. About what have been my biggest challenges, what have helped me become the successful woman that I am, businesswoman that I am today. Let me begin, ladies, by saying that it is my firm believing that success has no limits. Success has no race. And guess what? Success has no gender. Hola. Again, mi nombre is Norma Hernandez. I was born and raised in Honduras, Central America. I immigrated to the land of the free and home of the brave in 1987. Can you tell that I am a proud American? As most immigrants, even by having a diploma in business from another country and speaking some English, my English wasn't, not that it's great now, but it wasn't that much before. I did have to start at the bottom. In 1987, there were a few Latinos in our countries, in our community. Growing opportunities for a Latino person were very limited. The Gainesville whole county community was not familiar with our culture. They were not ready to let us enter their lives and their industries. But little by little, the Hispanics numbers grew. Because of the labor workers need, we needed some labor workers. So that was spread all over our neighbor states, that we needed workers, so opportunities opened up. And that is how the Latino community grew to the numbers that you and I see today. I remember my first job. My first job was at a tortilla place. It was hard work, but it was rewarding. It was hard work, long hours. My second job was at a poultry plant. The work was harder even, but I was making more money. Now, my third job was at a pharmacy. One day I went to refill a prescription and the pharmacist offered me a job and I took it. In 1990, very interesting story. In 1990, my sister got a traffic citation. And then I was discovered by the Gainesville Police Department. Guess who became the first bilingual community service officer and the first Latina to serve in law enforcement? Yours truly. This was an awesome opportunity for me because it allowed me to serve my Latino community and also gave me the challenge to integrate my communities. This position was very demanding for me. I was on call 24/7. There were many times when the call would come in ungodly hours, when people decided to hurt or kill each other or one another. We had at that time different cultures that really were having a hard time trying to get along with each other. There were many times when we have to go and stay working for long hours, 24 hours sometimes, because we have to find the person that hurt somebody. And that was very challenging because people was not wanting to behave at that time. So as a member of the Gainesville Police Department, one of my duties was to be the community liaison and serve in just about in many organizations, as you said. So I spent a little bit of time at the office and a lot of time in the community working, which was very awesome. It was very good. I loved that part of my life at that time. So, but I was participating in many organizations, in several organizations, I should say. And then I realized that we, the community, the Latino community, didn't have an organization. We didn't have our own voice. So we needed a voice that will bring the cultures together to help us to better understand each other. So in 1992, I started the Northeast Georgia Hispanic Alliance, the Alianza Hispana. It was a nonprofit organization. And like you said, during my time as president, my biggest accomplishments and what I'm really, really proud of is that we developed a very close relationship with Immigration and Naturalization Services. And with their help, of course, like you said, we assisted more than 350 people become United States citizens. And the most important part, that we registered those people to vote. So, and me, I was one of them. I was so excited. I became a United States citizen doing that workshop. We had a workshop at that time, and everybody, different races, which is very neat, different races will come. And we help them. We'll do everything right there and then. And people was ready to become citizens and very excited to do their part in the community and exercise their right to vote. As a result of my community involvement, in my efforts to bring the community together, I was nominated and received I was the first Latina recipient to receive the Liberty Bell Award, and that was in 1993. And the Liberty Bell Award is given by the Atlanta Bar Association, if you don't know it. And I was told, and I was very impressed, because I was told that it's given to a person with outstanding community leadership, to someone that promotes better understanding of the rules of the law, and somebody that encourages respect and stimulate civic responsibilities in the community. That was a very unexpected honor for me, really. Excuse me. After working for almost 8 years with the Gainesville Police Department, I was approached by the District Attorney's Office, and yes, in 1998, I became the Assistant Director for the Victim Assistance Program. It was then when I stopped chasing killers with the Gainesville Police Department and I started chasing witnesses. My job was very challenging because of our Latino culture. You have no idea how difficult it is to get a Latino person to report a crime or to assist with an investigation. It is pretty much impossible. But I understand they are scared, sometimes because of their legal status and sometimes because of the fear of retaliation, which is very common in our culture, in our countries. But by working with them, by working with the community, by showing them that I care, that somebody cares for them, treating them with honesty and respect, I was able to earn their trust and I was able to earn their respect. In 2001, I came to the decision to become an entrepreneur. I resigned my position with the District Attorney's Office and I opened my own business, Norma Hernandez Business Services. But guess what? The government was not ready to let me go. They asked me to stay on board with them as a consultant and as an interpreter. What a sweet deal for me. I was able to serve my Latino business community, and I was still be able to be part of my law enforcement family. Also, I started making my own money. How sweet is that? In 2016, I opened my second business. It's Capital Title Loans. Capital Title Loans, with this company, what I do is that I give people small loans that will help them get out of small financial situations. And it's really rewarding when they allow me to teach them how to put their financials in order. That is very good. And that's something that I really enjoy. In March of 2016, Department of Multicultural Affairs of the University of North Georgia presented me with the 2016 Women History Month Achiever Award as one of the women of influences in our community. It was a very much fun event. It was incredible. In 2016, I was nominated and honored. Like you said, I won as one of the most successful entrepreneurs in our community, receiving the Entrepreneurs Master of Innovations Award. These awards made me think. They made me think that I have never taken a step back and look at my life and find where I have been or how I got here, where I am in this chair today. It made me realize that if you work really hard for your goals, if you work really hard, there is no reason in the world why you cannot be a successful person and your future cannot be bright. In 2018, because I have nothing better to do and I'm very bored, in 2018, I started the Northeast Georgia Latino Chamber of Commerce. With this organization, our goal is to be a voice for the Latino business community. We promote education, assistance for business owners, and we also partner with local organizations that help us reach those goals to help them. In 2010, it's now 2010, and my new baby is the Gainesville Against COVID-19 Task Force. In May, I was appointed to head the task force by the director of Georgia Department of Public Health, Dr. Kathleen Toomey, a powerful lady. Didn't I tell you that success has no gender? The task force works in partnership with the Northeast Georgia Health System and community leaders. We put together events. Since May, I am very proud to say that we have assisted thousands of COVID testings. We have handed out more than 20,000 face masks, and we have implemented the No Mask, No Service campaign. That is a great campaign because it allowed businesses to participate with the task force and say no mask, no service, take responsibility. So that is something that we're really proud of as well. We have distributed endless numbers of flyers, brochures, posters, stickers, all of this to promote and teach our community self-care and prevention. COVID has given us a sense of family. COVID has given us a sense of unity. If you are not doing it already, have you considered being part, getting involved in your community? Get involved. Wake up that leader in you. You can do it. Make a difference. It is incredibly rewarding. I promise you, I live it every day. In closing, let me emphasize, it is of utmost importance to pursue your dream. Take every challenge as a learning experience. Do not give up. As you journey through your life, there are going to be bumps on the road. You just have to power through it. Don't ever let anybody or anything stop you. Chase your dreams. Fight for your goals. Don't ever give up. If Norma Hernandez can be a successful story, so can you. Muchas gracias for the opportunity. I hope that my words had inspired you to stand up for yourself and for your community, and may God keep you safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Norma. You heard it right here. Stand up. Stand up, speak out, don't be afraid. Norma, your example is an extraordinary one, and the number of ways in which you have made the world a better place, at least our corner of this world, is truly, truly inspirational. It's astonishing to me all the huge number of things that you have done and are still doing. And I have to tell our audience that when I invited Norma and asked her to speak in the Gold Series, her response to me was, where there's a chance to inspire, I'm there. And that is truly evident in all the work that you've done as a true student servant leader. And we're just grateful to you for sharing some of your story with us today. And I'm going to ask Norma just a few follow-up questions, and you may feel free to put your questions in the Q&A, and we will ask those to Norma, as many as we can manage today. So Norma, you've done so many incredible things that have made a difference in the lives of so many people. What would you say, and I know this is really hard to narrow it to one thing, but what would you say is your proudest accomplishment?
I think my proudest accomplishment is when I started to see my hard work paying off. When I started to see my community becoming one, when we were being part of this community that welcomed us. And when people start getting together and people started understanding the importance of giving and the importance of participation, I feel very proud that I'm the voice that started that, I guess I can say. So that's very, very neat.
I think that's huge. And I promised you all at the beginning that Norma exemplified own your voice, right? And
own your voice.
Make your community better. And that's exactly what Norma has done throughout her life in ways that continue to expand and impact people. So we're really grateful to you for all the work that you've done to make the Gainesville and Hall County community a better.
Thank you so much.
We're very grateful to you.
Thank you.
Well, I have to ask you, of course, as Dean of a Women's College, and I know that you've said success knows no gender, but I'm curious to know, did you encounter in any of your various leadership roles, have you encountered any pushback maybe from people who think, oh, a woman shouldn't be in charge of all these things?
I am pretty sure that I have. I can't think really of a specific situation at this time, and I think the reason is because my motto is negativity stays in the back. You know, somebody tried to stop you to do something. Don't let them. Gosh, no, you need to move them out and keep on going. I really don't think that I can think of a situation because it's not worth it to keep it in my mind. For me, negativity is out, is the past. We gotta move on. And really, to tell you the truth, I'm pretty spoiled by my community. I don't know if I told you before, but whatever Norma Hernandez wants in this community, Norma Hernandez gets. I am very honored that I have so many organizations, so many great people with great hearts, that if I ask for a favor for the community, I am never told no. I am always working towards the community, and if somebody says no, hey, that's just a person that I know not to bother again. But, you know, like I said before, don't let nothing stop you, and leave the bad negativity, leave it in the back and jump it and keep on going forward. There is no reason to dwell in the past. Let's just move on to a bright future.
I love your philosophy, Norma. You're absolutely right. Just roll them on out of the way.
Get them out of the way.
I hope all of our students listening are taking careful note of that, and to never say no, never take no for an answer.
Never take no for an answer. If somebody say no, 2 more people will say yes down the road.
Okay, people, you heard it here. For everyone who says no, 2 more will say yes. You just have to persist.
That's right. That's right.
Well, what would you say? I know you faced a lot of challenges in everything that you've accomplished. How would you say for our students who are interested in leadership and are searching for ways to face obstacles, what advice would you have in terms of how you have managed to face challenges? What's your MO? Although I get it, your MO is get out of the way. Norma Hernandez is coming through, and we're going to... What advice would you offer for them as they encounter challenges and obstacles?
Well, I said that there's nothing that a positive mind cannot get away with. You wake up every morning, you wake up, put your right foot down, and you say, this is an awesome day, and this is the day that I will make my dreams happen, that I'm going to work hard for my goals, and that everything is going to be right. If you start with your mind in a negative place, you attract negative situations. But if you stay positive, you work hard, because just saying positive is not going to do it. You got to be positive and work at it. because you have to work hard. You will not see any successful person that have not worked hard. Nobody's going to hand it to you. You got to work for it. So, but the start is positive. Be positive. Don't let nothing cloud your mind. And if you hang out with people that is clouding your mind, that they're keeping you behind, you need to move on, because you are what you put forward, and you are what the people that you work with, the people that you hang out with, is what I'm trying to say. If they're taking you down, if they're making you go lower and not helping you grow as a person, you are in the wrong crowd. You need to move on. You need to be with positive people. You need to be with professionals that will advise you. But don't be with people that will get you down with them, because there is no future there.
Well, you're exactly right about that, Norma. And the more we can lift each other up, the better.
Exactly.
Have people dragging you down, move on, move on. I think
that's right. That's right.
Really good advice. Well, and I'm sure you've thought about this a lot before, but what would you say to any listeners or members of our community who maybe just haven't gotten around to registering to vote yet? And this is regardless of political views. This is not a partisan question, obviously, but what do you say to those folks who just haven't registered yet?
We have to understand that voting is the way to make changes in your country. And if the country has changes, your life will change as well. So, like I said, when I was telling you my story, the first thing that I thought, I need to become a United States citizen. Why? Because I want to vote. We are we are from another culture. My culture is different. And in our cultures, in the Latino cultures, it's like, I'm not going to vote because it will not make a difference. So what I said is, we are in America. We are not in our countries. You got to register to vote, and you got to exercise your right to vote, because a lot of people die and a lot of people have suffered for you to have that right. So don't let all that go to waste. Register to vote today and vote every time you get a chance. That is your voice. That is your power.
Exactly right. That is your power. Make your voice heard. And I think that's especially resonant in this year where we're celebrating the centennial of the 19th Amendment and American women's right to vote. So those people fought, went to jail, were force-fed, hunger strikes, and all these things so that women could vote. So we all need to step up there and make our voices heard.
That's correct. That is correct.
You're exactly right, Norma. Well, I also wanted to just ask you for, and I don't want to go too far into this discussion, but could you give us a brief update from the COVID task force? Let us know kind of what's going on and maybe how could we offer any assistance?
Well, with the COVID task force right now, we have an event planning. We are trying to put a health fair together, and this time we're working with the pastors of different churches. So we are trying to our goal is to get the community not to forget, because it's very easy. If people hear that numbers are down, if people hear don't listen that or don't know the person that is getting sick, or people that are getting sick, if you don't know them closely, especially in my community, they think that, we are done, we're over with, let's go out, let's go party, let's go this, let's go that, and it's not true. So our goal with the COVID is still be vigilant, do not give up. You still have to be careful, you still have to take care of yourself, and you still have to take care of your neighbor, because we are in this together. We are a community that is working together. So we are trying to put more events to be in people's face and say, hey, guess what? We're not done. We're still going through it, and you still can get sick if you let your guard down. So that's what we're trying, just to keep on the North Georgia Health System come up with all these pamphlets, brochures, and information every time. We send it everywhere. We publish it. We do this and we do that. And that is all for people not to forget. We are not done. We still got to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, and I know that must be a Herculean effort trying to guide the task force. And as you know, some people are saying, we might be through with the virus, but it's not through with us. So we have to practice this culture of prevention, culture of care for ourselves and for everybody around us.
That's right. That's right.
So we are appreciative of the work that you're doing for Hall County.
Pleasure.
It seems to me that Norma's efforts know no bounds. I mean, you guys can tell from hearing her talk that she is a real force of nature and that she walks her talk. And I think we're just so fortunate today to be able to hear from her. And I would like to ask you, for the students who are with us today, who hope to be leaders someday, maybe they haven't had a chance yet to practice that or to practice that too much. What kind of advice would you give them for ways to make their own community better as leaders?
I'll say, don't think it twice. The more you think it, the less you're gonna do it. You just have to jump. Get involved. Give your heart to the community. It is not only great for your heart being a volunteer and doing all these great things for the community. It is great for your heart, but it is better for your career if you're getting started. So it is rewarding. It is something that you go to bed and you say, what a great day we had today. We help somebody. We help our community. We are hoping that our community will be healthy because we are I am doing this. So it's something that is good for your heart and then it's good for your career. So there are no negatives there. Just get out and do it.
That's it. Just get out and do it. Think of Norma Hernandez when you think. Don't
think too much because then I'm not going to be able to sleep with all people thinking of me.
That might well be true. And for all of our listeners, there's more information about Norma. Her profile is on the Women's College Gold Series website, so you can certainly read more about Norma's work and the great difference that she's made in our community. So Norma, you're so involved in so many things, and I hear what you're saying about just jump in. Dare I ask, what's next for Norma Hernandez? Can there be anything left that you haven't done?
Well, work is never done, and as long as I have, I don't know who say that, but as long as I have life in my bones, I'm not gonna stop. I'm a power person. I'm like, if something needs to be done, heck, why not me? Let's just get it done. Let's just work it. So I guess for me, it's just more work. Keep on working with my businesses, keep on working with the community, wherever there is a need. And if I can help, my heart is out there because I love my community. I feel that I have helped build what we got today, and I'm not about to let it go. So I think it's just more work is what's next.
Well, my money's on you, Norma, whatever. I think that all of the folks joining us today for the webinar can tell that you truly do lead with your heart and that you are willing to jump in and make a huge difference. So I definitely wanted our students to know that's the power of one individual. Look at all the lives you've touched. It's really, truly quite extraordinary. We have, I believe, there's a poll going up that people can feel free to respond to. And I know that you've been putting some questions into the Q&A box. And if you haven't, please feel free to do so right now. And I'm going to introduce my colleague, Marie Bernhardt, who is our Director of External Relations and Advancement. I always mangle her title. I'll let you say it yourself. But Marie's been monitoring the Q&A, so everybody get your questions in there, and we will work our way through as many of them as we can. So, Marie Bernhardt, proud Women's College alumna, and now is setting the world on fire, helping us raise funds to help educate more of our students. Dawn Marie.
Hi, Norma. Thank you so much. On behalf of the students, faculty, and staff, I will be answering or asking you some questions that have come up, some of them in the chat box, some in the webinar, so some of them were pre-submitted, so it's going to be all over, but there's some great questions in here, and I would like to make sure that we hit them. So I'm going to get started. The first one, actually, the first one was a shout out, which I thought was pretty great, from Aaron Graham. It says, "Hello, Miss Hernandez. I just wanted to say that I appreciated and that you were so proud and confident when talking about your amazing successes and trailblazing achievements. I feel oftentimes women will downplay their successes to seem more humble. It was refreshing to see a strong woman stand up unapologetically, proud of herself and proud of what she has done. Thank you so much."
Thank you. Thank you.
And so this one, this actually came through a couple of different times. And I'm going to read a couple of them so you get an idea of the scope of it. But what is the best way to be an ally community member and support the Latino community of Gainesville? And I'm searching for ways to volunteer in the Hispanic community around Hall County, and I don't know where to start. What would you recommend?
Getting involved in the community is easy. There are so many awesome, incredible organizations that need your help. You can Facebook is one way. We all promote our services or our needs in Facebook. That's one way of doing it. But just finding out what's your interest and then just putting it out there. Just ask around. We are all around, and all our organizations need lots of help. So we welcome with open arms and hearts anybody that is willing to help.
And just for a side note to let viewers know, you mentioned the Latino Chamber of Commerce and the Facebook page. I actually went and followed the Facebook page during our practice session, and I started seeing the things that they're posting. So there's a lot of great information on the Latino Chamber of Commerce for anybody that wants to follow them on the social media accounts.
Yes, that's right.
So let's see. What is one thing that you wished you had known or experienced as a young woman that you know now? The answer will be very helpful to our wonderful young women and men at Brenau.
I wish I learned more English earlier. No, it's really as you go. I think my journey through my business, and for joining my community efforts, I think it just came day by day. I can't think of anything that I can go back and change, or I wish that I could. It's not something that I really plan on it. I say, well, like I said with the Hispanic Alliance, I say, hey, the county, the city has these organizations, but none of these organizations represent us. So let's get one. You know, it was just something that if there is a need, you do it. So I don't think that I can think that, oh, I wish I could go back and fix this and that. I mean, everything is trial and error. So I just got things started and people follow me, and that's the way it goes.
You're a little bit like the Pied Piper.
I'm telling you, we get everything started and make everything happen. And luckily, if you do things, careful, do things right, you can be a success, and you can have a successful organization as well.
You got a thank you for sharing, Queen Hernandez.
Thank you so much.
We've got one that says, Norma, you are so inspiring. Who inspires you or has inspired you to own your own voice in such a powerful way? Who are your mentors?
My mentors, I like to read books that help you to better yourself. I read a lot. John Maxwell is one of my authors that got me started in being, wanting to give. That he is somebody that I admire. Also, Joyce Meyer, she is a Christian, and she was my inspiration for many years. And like I said, you need to surround yourself with what makes you feel good and help you be better. So, mentors in my community, I should know. I should have something in my mind, but my mind just went blank. But of course, there is incredible amount of people in this community that they are awesome. They are great heart. They have great hearts, and these are people that you follow because they are powerful people. So, but at my beginnings, I start by getting positive feedback and just getting inspired with whoever had a good message.
Excellent. Let's see. What are the most pressing needs in our area and in the community during the pandemic? Is there something that you would say is the most pressing?
Well, the need right now is just to keep, like I said, I believe that we are working the pandemic. Okay, I think the task force got started because people was not aware of what COVID was and how it could affect us. We have our guard down, but we learned that we have to keep our guard up. And with all the information that we have and everything that we're doing, I think that we just need to keep on teaching people. We just need to keep telling people not to give up and not to despair, because for some people it's very sad and a lot of people is suffering. Probably you don't see it around you, but if you open your eyes, you open your horizons, you will see that people is suffering because of the pandemic. And we just have to be out there and be a good neighbor. But I think information will be the main thing, just to keep on putting out their information and for people to receive it. So I think we're doing okay, and we just need to keep on working and working hard. Great.
So what is your favorite Latino restaurant in Gainesville, and where do you get the best fresh tortillas? Since you said that you worked in a tortilla shop, they feel like you would have the insight on that.
I'm going to have to decline that question. My business, the majority of my businesses are, my clients are restaurants and grocery stores. I cannot tell you which one it is, but let me tell you, the best tortillas are the ones that you do yourself. So grab some powder, water, and done. Just make your own freaking tortillas and you're going to be happy. It's not that hard to do. You can make your own tortillas.
And this one actually kind of falls in the same category, but they want to know about Honduras food. Is there any sort of Honduras dishes that we should aim to look for to expand our knowledge in international eating?
Well, you will be thinking, but this is silly. The people... What we are known in Honduras for eating is baleadas. Baleadas is a flour tortilla. It's like a quesadilla in Mexico, but it's a flour tortilla, big flour tortilla, and then it only has beans, cheese, and egg, and that is a baleada, and that's our breakfast of choice. So we got tamales, and we got some other great dishes, but nobody will know a Honduran person for other than a baleada. When I go somewhere, people say, "Hey, did you bring some baleadas?" It's like, good Lord, I don't have to have baleadas with me at all times. But yeah,
in my pockets.
My children will grow up eating baleadas, so.
That's fantastic. What has surprised you the most in your work with the local community?
What have surprised me? I think I was surprised the welcoming of the community. The community, the different cultures were open actually to start listening to what we had to say, to start it's just the working together that surprised me, because I thought that, in some other communities, I have seen in some other communities that the Latinos, they're trying to do something, they're trying to start something, but something is not easy for them. In our Gainesville whole county community, I cannot be any more proud of my community, my people, my government, because we actually work together. Well, it takes the right person, but we actually do work together, and that surprised me that we can do a lot by getting together. So it is a very good surprise. Yes.
As someone who just recently, within the last a little over a year, has returned to the community, I was surprised and pleasantly surprised by how strong of a local community there is and how supportive it is in so many different areas and fronts. So it sounds like you felt the same experience, even coming from a different vantage point.
Yeah, being strong, the community is staying strong. With the pandemic, it's very surprising, because with the pandemic, we are working, we have work, we are working every day. There's people that is not working, but a lot of people are still working at their homes, but they are working. And a lot of people already went back to their jobs. So our community in Gainesville, it is staying a strong community. And I think it's because of everything that is being done. We don't let each other down. We try to help people. We participate with the task force participate with different organizations and food drives. And if somebody needs a bill, power being paid, somebody's helping them. If somebody's in need, somebody tells somebody and somebody get it done. So it is all communication, and it is all being positive, of course.
So there is a lot of chatter going back and forth about the food, which is what's making me giggle. But there's people saying I should have eaten before I came because now I'm starving. And then also there is a link in the chat for any of you who would like to make the, am I going to say it right? Baleadas?
Baleadas.
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 There's a link in the chat so that you can make.
Somebody ready to put a recipe in it?
Maybe we'll have a competition and see who can make the best. That
would be awesome. That would be awesome. But let me tell you, because it's getting late, I would be more than happy to, if you post my email, I would be more than happy to contact whoever is still wanting to talk to me, have questions for me. Like we say with Deborah before, wherever there is a chance for me to inspire somebody, I will take my time and I will be there for somebody that needs me. I will never say no.
Well, we definitely are going to send out your email address that you said that we could share when we do the recap or the recap of this event. We have one last question to send you off with, and this is, what are you the most excited about that's on the horizon for Hall County?
The most exciting coming up is, law enforcement is working together with the community. Because of COVID, they have developed like an understanding of because of, we sometimes we get frustrated with things that happen, and sometimes that causes a little bit of tension within the cultures, within law enforcement. And I'm not gonna say more, but something is coming up that we are working together with law enforcement, and of course Norma is putting something together and something is coming up that will create a better understanding, will create more unity in the community, more than we already have, because we have to understand each other, and I think this is the right way to do it. People getting together, leaders getting together, government working together with the community. So there is something's coming up that we will be working on. We'll keep on working, and the main thing is just to keep us united and to keep thinking that we are a family, and if we work together, COVID is not going to get rid of us. We are going to get rid of COVID, and we're doing it right now. And all the negativity in our community has to go away. We have to stay positive. Every time you get a chance to put that bright light in somebody's mind, you know, do it. Be positive. Don't give up. You can do it. So I think that things are coming up. We are doing okay, but we're just going to do better.
I love that. We have one last question that came in, and I actually think it's important because the question is, how long do you think it will be before the U.S. has a Latino president? And my vote is Norma Hernandez for president.
I don't want to say anything, but just many times I say, why aren't you the mayor of Gainesville? I say, nope. I don't really like politics. I support people in politics. I have very close relationship with some of our government officials, but that's not for me. I like to support people, great people. I like to be behind the scenes. Like, you know, when we go to, when we have events, my team is the one up front of the pictures. I hate pictures, but I don't like to take pictures. When you do something with your heart, you don't need a picture. You know, when you do something with your heart, it's like, let somebody else take the credit for it, because you do it because you want to, because it's what you want to do it, and it is what makes you feel good. But I don't know how I got there, but what I was trying to say is no politics for me. I am fine working from my chair, not being the president of the United States. So, but I do appreciate the voting.
Well, thank you very much for your time and effort and for answering all of our questions. It
has been a pleasure, and it has been lots of fun. If anything I can do for the ladies at Brenau or any lady in the world, I am here for you.
Thank you so much, Dawn Marie, Director of Development, and our wannabe future president. I would on that campaign trail in a heartbeat, Norma.
No. You ladies are awesome. Thank you, everybody, for participating. I hope that you did get something out of my pitch. I hope that you get inspired, because if you get inspired, the world is huge, and there is a never-ending life. So good luck to everybody. Congratulations in being a student of an awesome, incredible university. And I am honored that you ladies invited me to participate. I am humble, and I love you all.